players in the college game today.
Yeah, that may be a misnomer calling him a sixth man, because he's one of their 5 best players. Had 12 points in the Evansville game. Very explosive.
It's like Morris Peterson with Michigan State, who's their leading scorer but comes off the bench.
A little half hook.
Left-handed this time, and it rolls off the rim. Approaching 2 minutes to go in the half. It's been a tight one throughout. Kansas did have an early 8-point edge, but
whenever Kansas goes inside first and then outside, they do a lot better. And one of the things that Kansas will have to be concerned about is Kentucky used a lot of people. They're wearing down Kansas as they have everybody else. They kind of play the first half just to get to the second half. One of the things I really enjoyed the comment by Mike Krzyzewski in the paper today, where he said he wanted his guys to have to play with Trajan Langdon because he didn't want his guys to learn how to pace themselves in a basketball game, assuming he's not there to play.
McGlure with another basket inside. 6 points off the bench.
Pump fake, but nothing there. Gregory used his ability to jump, hang in the air a little.
Coming up, Pennzoil at the half. Greg and Clark will get you caught up on all the scores and highlights of the 1999 Men's NCAA Basketball Championship. That's all coming up on Pennzoil at the half.
And if you're Kansas right now, I think what you want to do the rest of the way, Jim, is use a little bit of clock. Kentucky can score quickly. They've got 4 points, a pretty big working margin in the ball game right now. If you're Kansas, you don't want them to score and put that press on you right away. If you're Kentucky, just keep playing the way you are. I think they're playing beautiful basketball.
Pass inside off the fingertips of McGlure. At the other end, that was a foul on Pugh, his second. Kansas with 16 fouls, but we have just a minute to go here in the half.
Chenoweth kind of walking down the court. Got to be a little tired. Oshie's got to switch. He's got the big guy on him. He got to keep the ball and back it out and then go by.
Chenoweth doubled up. Back to him. And Turner, did he have his ground? No, they called traveling.
Substitution, Kentucky, number 32.
And Jim, there was a case where Kansas had Kentucky right where they wanted him, but Chenoweth couldn't get the ball back on out. He had Boschie wide open for a jump shot.
And again, the negative reaction to the insertion of Lester Earl.
Jim, they may be booing Lester Earl coming back here, but can you imagine what they'll do when Harold the Show Arsenio comes back here after having 14 for 26 against North Carolina and 12 out of 27 for 32 against Florida.
He's the kid from Weber State, for those who didn't see it. Arsenault.
Arsenault from right here in New Orleans. 68 in 2 games.
I thought for a minute you were talking about Arsenio Hall and doing a little martial law promo.
No.
I thought, okay. Final 20 seconds of the half. Lester Earl slipped. Oh, McGlure so acrobatic. Kentucky will get the last shot, it appears, with 12 seconds. Oh, a timeout, 20, called by Tubby.
You know, Tubby does this a lot, doesn't he? He has a pattern. He loves to call that timeout and set up that last shot. Look for the double screen with Padgett coming over the top.
Billy, you've been here for it. We've seen it. The tradition, the tournament heritage right here in New Orleans. Let's look back at some of the moments in New Orleans.
The tie, 18. Shot. Jordan. Michael Jordan. Oh, he threw it to the wrong man. He threw it to Worthy.
Smart takes the shot. Indiana wins the championship. Keith Smart is the hero. Number brings it into the front court. They have no timeouts remaining.
Oh, he causes too many timeouts. That's a technical foul.
Last held here in 1993, the Final Four with North Carolina and Dean Smith winning his second championship. 22nd timeout now utilized by Kansas.
I think what Roy Williams wants to do, because these guys go over film after film after film to know what Kentucky likes to do in this situation. Set play, and Kentucky's been very effective at this. Look for a guy, if they put like a Hogan in the game, and I think he is in the game, or a Padgett coming off a double screen up top looking for the three-point shot. Tubby Smith likes to do this a lot.
Into the hands of Turner.
Screen. Here comes Hogan. Nothing there. Good job by Kansas to recognize the play.
And they pick his pocket with Robertson, and he calls a timeout.
Ooh, Roy Williams didn't want it.
He'd rather have saved it.
Exactly. He'd rather have had that timeout with 1.4 to go. What can you do? But, you know, with 2.2 against Oklahoma State this year, Roy Williams went the length of the floor and got the ball to Robertson, where he was fouled, taking a 3 to win that ball game.
But you'd still rather have that one.
Yeah, I'd like to have
that one in the second half. Let's take a look at the data bank in this brief break. Most tournament wins, Kentucky with 82, and Kansas is 5th. In the 90s, Kansas with more wins than any program, with Kentucky number 2.
And Kansas is now guaranteed to have that. The winningest team of the 90s.
Here we go. London gets off a shot.
Valparaiso, maybe, huh? Not there.
Almost. Well, Kentucky comes back, climbs back from 8 down. And at the end of the first half, the score is Kentucky 40 and Kansas 36. Greg and Clark will be along with Pennzoil at the half right after this message.
Greg Gumbel, Clark Kellogg bring you up to speed on all of the late games this afternoon, all of which are close at this stage. It was not the case earlier today with a blowout win for South Missouri State. Steve Alford's team getting it done. There's an example of it as you check some of the scores. Purdue surprisingly up on Miami by 7. Kentucky falling behind early to Kansas to claim a 4-point cushion at the half.
Ole Miss really needs to find the gap in this zone. Jason Smith did it early in the game. He was able to find the gaps.
A little give and go. Carter Hicks the follow. Keith Carter got it started, and Hicks with the flush to finish.
Good job of penetrating the zone by Ole Miss.
22nd timeout for the Spartans. Well, there is a little flash in the Rebels game when they come up with a bucket.
Yeah, there's Carter going through the hole of a nice slice. Good job of avoiding the block, and there's Hicks cleaning up with the icing on the cake.
Northside High School, Northwest Mississippi Community College, same high school as Galen Young, or college, junior college as Galen Young of UNC Charlotte. Native of Jackson, Tennessee, Marcus Hicks, who was 9 of 10 against Villanova. And much like Jason Smith, body type the same. They play with the same kind of abandon. You see, they could be twins.
Exactly. I mean, these are athletes. These are guys that could be track stars. They could be tight ends on a football team. And on the basketball court, they really present problems because they're not that tall, but they play really big.
Cleaves, open, and Smith takes it away.
Hi, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel. Clark Kellogg joins me coming up on Pennzoil at the half. We'll bring you up to date on all the tournament scores and highlights right after this message and a word from your local station.
I'd like to see it called more often, but Rod Barnes is saying, not then, not with numbers. Got a 3-on-1 going. Boy, White working through those picks to free Cleaves.
Nice denial by White, Tim.
Carter just in his face, forcing the bad shot. Peterson misses a chippy. Loose ball to Michigan State.
And see, the inability to get the ball into Mateed Cleaves' hands really causes problems because he initiates the offense. If you can't get it into Cleaves' hands, then you got to go to finding a shot randomly, and that plays right into Ole Miss's hands. But Ole Miss must clean up the boards.
Cleaves runs right over White. Player control foul. The Rebels get it back.
See, Tim, he's used to running off those picks freely, but he's going to have a tough time. If you take a look at the left side of your screen, there's Mateed Cleaves coming off. White fights the pick, frustrates Cleaves, and creates a foul.
This is the kind of team, Ole Miss, that when you were playing, I know you couldn't stand it, right? It just,
I could not stand that pressure. Get me out of the kitchen. It's too hot.
Michael White, whose father Kevin is the athletic director at Arizona State, that took Rob Evans away to become their head coach. Emmy Award winner John Larroquette returns to television as Royal Payne, an innkeeper with attitude. Don't miss the series premiere of Payne Monday after Raymond on CBS. Michael White wants to become a coach one day. His dad Kevin was at Tulane as athletic director when he was in school in New Orleans, and then he took the job at Arizona State and subsequently hired Rob Evans away, the man that took Ole Miss to 2 consecutive NCAA.
In Boston, Wildcats in New Orleans, and Rebels in Milwaukee. Stay tuned.
CBS Sports presents Pennzoil at the Half, sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Hi, everyone. Welcome once again to Pennzoil at the Half. Along with Clark Kellogg, I'm Greg Gumbel. At halftime, the Kentucky Wildcats, as you've mentioned all along, Clark, their experience beginning to show. They lead it by 4.
And the other thing, too, Greg, that I talk about is their three-point shooting, 6 of 12 in the first half. When they shoot it well from the perimeter, it's really hard to be able to defend the big guys they have inside, Bradley, McGlure. They're dominant down there.
All right. Meanwhile, in Midwest action in Milwaukee, Mississippi and Michigan State, the top seed in the Midwest, and the Spartans are trailing at this point, 31-29. Ole Miss coach Rod Barnes ready for action. Michigan State looked to run away early. Mateen cleaves the steal, takes it in for the layup, but here come the Rebels.
The Rebels going toe-to-toe, showing you they can run as well. High flying throwdown by Jason Smith.
If you like that, you'll love this one. Carter catches, squares up, shoots from three-point range, fouled on the shot as well. Michigan State trailing Ole Miss right now as they wind down the first half 31-29. In second-round action in the East from the Fleet Center in Boston, Purdue on top of Miami 29-17. Purdue coach Gene Cady hoping he can advance against the Hurricanes.
He's doing a nice job with his pressure defense. It doesn't hurt, though, to get a little luck on offense. The bank by Brian Cardinal.
How about Miami gunner Johnny Hemsley? He hits this jumper from the near side to cut the Purdue lead. With Purdue, nice here.
Good ball movement, good spacing. Miami just not paying attention to where the ball and the man is, and they get burned as Cameron Stevens gets a layup.
Boilermakers and the Hurricanes, the winner of this game, moves on to play Temple on Friday in the Meadowlands. We'll take a timeout here and then come back with scores and highlights from earlier action today in just a moment.
Two big men with Smith handling and McQuay on the left side. Therefore, you get a travel. Give that ball to the guard, big guys, and fill those lanes.
And Rolando, Miami has missed their last 7 shots.
It's the pressure. Look at the pressure they're applying right now. Waller can't even get the ball across half court.
Stolen. Cardinal had it. Houston brings it back. Hemsley dishes it up. No. Followed by Houston. No. Cardinal. Yes.
They are wearing Miami out on those plays too. The hustle plays and also trying to get that ball.
And Gene Cady is lighting it up over on the sideline. Boy, despite that 12-point lead, he is still barking. Well, look at the hustle by Cardinal.
Yeah,
he's the Bill Laimbeer of the Big Ten.
He thinks he still can get a steal right here and diving on the floor. Boy, I tell you what, this guy stays on the floor. Does a great job of hustling, though. That sparks your basketball team when you see him acting that way.
Fryer the leader there, but 9 threes made by Hemsley on Friday.
You know something, when you're so close to an NCAA record like that, I mean, do you stay in or don't you stay in to try to get that record?
Well, Miami now has missed their last 9 shots, Rolando. They have not scored in the last 7:09.
All of it is Purdue also. All of it is Purdue. They are taking them completely out of what they want to do. Miami's going to have to respond in the second half. Better plays and better movement.
Cardinal wants the 3. Got it just before the buzzer went off. Oh, what a way to end the half. Cardinal hit 3 threes.
CBS Sports presents Pennzoil at the Half, sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Welcome to Pennzoil at the Half, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel, along with Clark Kellogg. What an amazing day thus far in the NCAA tournament. Let's get you right to the scores and the highlights, beginning at the Louisiana Superdome, where 10th seed Miami upset 2nd seed Utah 66-58. Listen in to some of the highlights of this game.
It always seems to play with confidence.
Look at this. Zerniak to Estic, and no one near him.
To the final.
2 seconds on
Fade
the
away.
shot clock, and he does it again.
He did that against Jensen.
Let the celebration begin. There's a Cinderella heading to St. Louis. The Miami University Redhawks are on their way to the Sweet 16.
So the Redhawks registered the 6th victory by a 10 seed in the tournament. You didn't see this one coming, did you, Clark?
I really didn't. I knew Wally Zerbiak would have a big game, but he got tremendous help from John Estic and Jason Stewart. They combined for 30 on the season. They only averaged 15 between the two of them.
All right, Clark, in the East, the Fleet Center in Boston, the Temple Owls, 6th seeded, knocked off number 3 seed Cincinnati 64-54. Bob Huggins worried? Well, he should have been. Temple's Pepe Sanchez uses the screen, hits the three-pointer, falls to the floor. Owls are up early at 24-11. More Owls.
All game long, they got timely outside shooting when they needed it and dominated action in the paint. There you see Lamont Barnes finishing inside.
And then Quincy Wadley heating up, buries the 3 from long range to give the Owls a 47-35 lead. At that point, John Chaney knocked out of the tournament by Cincinnati in 95 and 96. He returns the favor today, 64-54. In the Midwest at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee, Oklahoma knocks off UNC Charlotte 85-72. Heads were spinning in Milwaukee. Oklahoma out of the gates running.
Here you take a look. Penetration by Johnson inside to Ryan Humphrey. 7-3 early for the Sooners.
Second half, 49ers trying to make a run. Galen Young, coast to coast. Watch the acceleration down the lane and the slam. But Oklahoma always had an answer.
One of my favorite names in all of college hoops, Eduardo Nahara. Doing work, another double-double for him.
Kelvin Sampson came into this tournament 0-5 as a head coach. His team's won 2 in a row now, and he's headed to Sweet 16. Oklahoma winner 85-72. At the Charlotte Coliseum in the East, Southwest Missouri State continues to roll. The 12th seed Bears over Tennessee 81-51. Well, the cheerleaders know what's in store in the game. I don't know, Ron Bruton with a pass, slams it in for 2. The Bears are up early.
Ron Bruton again, this time going to get the alley-oop pass from Allen Phillips. They were quicker, better, and stronger all game long.
And then from outside, Paul Morans gets this 3 from the corner to give Southwest Missouri State a 30-point win, 81-51. The Bears move on to play Duke. Speaking of Duke, earlier today in the East, the Blue Devils just rolled over Tulsa. The Golden Hurricane falling 9.
Presents Pennzoil at the Half, sponsored by Pennzoil. Specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Welcome to Pennzoil at the Half, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel, along with Clark.
At 4, getting set for the second half.
Before they give the inside an opportunity to operate.
You felt early that neither team had really kind of found the flow, but they got in sync late in the half. And what do you expect we'll see here in the second stanza?
Well, I think